Hey everyone, Forrest here with Rocky Mountain School of Photography, and today we're going to talk about USB dongles. Now, you might say, Forrest, why are we making an entire video about dongles? And the reason is this. I see so many students getting corrupted hard drives, corrupted catalogs, missing photos, all kinds of issues. And generally, when we eliminate the dongle from their setup, all of those issues go away. So if you have had problems like that, or maybe you don't want problems like that down the road, this video is for you. So let's start by addressing why this happens. Well, most people, when they go buy a new computer, say a 13-inch MacBook Pro that does not have many ports, you guys can see here, my laptop does not have many ports at all. It only has 2 USB Type-C ports. I generally would, in B&H or Best Buy or whatever it was, I would pick up, in addition to my laptop, a standard USB dongle. Here's one right here, if I can get my camera to focus. It's got a couple USB-A ports, it's got a couple USB-C ports, and it all plugs in with a single USB-C cable. So, super simple. The problem is that if we plug too much into a simple dongle like this, it's going to pull more power than that singular port that's connected to your computer can provide. As an example, if I plug my main photo drive and my backup photo drive into the USB-A ports, which are these kind of rectangular traditional ports on the dongle, it's going to be pulling the power of 2 devices from this single cable connection plugged into my computer. And that's going to cause me some problems. We're going to have hard drives dropping out. You might have a hard drive work for a little bit and then stop, and then the other one starts working. All kinds of problems can happen. So what's the solution? Well, first of all, I would not buy your run-of-the-mill, affordable, cheap USB dongle. There are some affordable ways to do this safely, but this is not the one of them. So in this video, we're going to talk about my top 3 solutions to this issue. And the first one is to eliminate dongles altogether. One reason that a lot of people end up with some sort of USB dongle is because they buy an external hard drive that has a connection type that's different than what they have on their computer. As an example, I have USB 3 micro B here, and I need to connect my USB 3 micro B to my USB C on my computer. And the cable that comes with my hard drive does not allow me to do that. So what I've been doing for a while is using a cable with a USB C to A dongle or A to C dongle in order to plug in. What's much better though is get yourself a custom cable that on each end is the connection type that you need. So again, as an example here I have a cable that's USB micro B on one side and USB Type-C on the other side. So I can plug directly from my hard drive into my computer without any dongles or adapters or anything like that. And these will cost you maybe $5, $10 on Amazon. My favorite brand of these is from a company called StarTech. They make really good cables. I'm gonna leave a cable finder link down in the description. You guys can click on that and it will help you find which end each cable is, and you can get the exact name and even model number of the cable that you're looking for. So this obviously solves the problem of being able to plug in what we want to plug in, but it doesn't solve the problem of being able to plug in more than 1 or 2 things into a laptop with few ports. I need to hammer home one quick thing at this point. If you get a cable like this, which you should, use this cable without any dongles most of the time. Only bring out the dongle or the hub or the adapter or whatever you want to call it when you need to plug in more than one thing. It's always better to eliminate all points of failure from your connection system and make the cleanest, most direct connection possible. All right, this gets us to solution number 2, which is getting yourself a powered USB hub. Let me show you guys a quick example here. So this right here is an example of an unpowered USB hub. And what I mean by that is it only has one plug that we plug in to the computer. And this one happens to plug in via USB-A, but I could get a cable that allowed me to plug in this via USB-C. And it gives me 3 USB Type-A ports. It actually also gives me Ethernet. This was a kind of a hub that I looked for. I wanted those types of connection styles, all right? Also, when I say hub, dongle, they're interchangeable things. The thing is, this pulls 100% of its power from the single connection to your computer. So if you plug, like I said, a couple power-hungry devices like hard drives into this hub, you're gonna run into issues trying to pull that much power through one cable. So the other thing you can get, like I said, is a powered USB hub. And ignore my labels here, this is my live streaming hub. But we can see this does the same thing. It gives us 3 USB Type-A ports, actually gives us a 4th one along the side, and it plugs in via a single USB micro B. So this cable plugs in right there, Let me grab the cable here so you guys can see. So we plug this cable in right here, and then this end into our computer, and we're left with a standard unpowered hub. The difference is though that there's this little power plug right here. And this hub comes with an AC adapter that we can plug into the wall and then plug into the hub. And what this does is this provides supplemental power to the hard drives or whatever else that we have plugged into this hub. And from testing, I can tell you that I can plug 4 hard drives, all spinning traditional USB hard drives, into these 4 USB type A ports. And so long as I've got my power adapter also connected to this hub, I can run all 4 of those hard drives without any issue. And again, the key here is that this power adapter is able to provide extra power to those hard drives which need it. So this is a great way to do things. And if you're gonna invest $50 in a hub or an adapter, get yourself one that's powered, because it's just gonna give you that extra ability to plug whatever you want into it versus very low draw devices, okay? I say low draw, this is kind of an important note. This is, right, like I said, an unpowered hub. You would be fine plugging like a mouse dongle and maybe a card reader and maybe a keyboard, some really low draw devices into a hub like this. But as soon as you start plugging higher draw things, you might even be fine plugging an SSD into this. But traditional spinning hard drives use a lot of power. So as soon as we start plugging in those spinning traditional hard drives, we're gonna run into some problems. All right, that brings me to solution number 3 and our final solution, which is get a USB hub or dongle, whatever you want to call it, that has pass-through. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, let's lay this out. So right here, I've got a little hub from CalDigit, and it's got really nice things. It's got a card reader, it's got a nice USB-C port, it's got a USB-A port, it's got a plug to connect to my computer, and then it's got display ports on the back, as well as this little port, which has a couple lines on it, okay? So what happens with a hub like this is you actually take the hub and you take a single cable, you plug this into the hub, and this cable now, this free end, plugs into our laptop. So let me put my laptop over here so we can get a nice visual of how this is gonna work. Put my laptop right here, slide it in, get it all clean here, and I can plug that end into my laptop just like that, okay? Now, at that point, it's an unpowered hub. And you'd say, well, Forrest, you just said don't do that, get one with an AC adapter. Well, this doesn't actually use an AC adapter. Instead, what you do is you take your laptop charger, and this is Mac, PC, whatever it is, as long as your laptop charges via USB Type-C, we can take our laptop charger and actually plug it into the wall and then plug the other end into our hub. And you guys can see how simple this is. All we're doing now is we're daisy chaining this hub. We're splicing this hub in between where we normally would plug our charger directly into our computer. We're putting the hub here in the middle. And now what's gonna happen is our laptop is gonna provide that, or our laptop charger is gonna provide that supplemental power to all the devices we plug into this hub. And it's also gonna charge our laptop. So we're basically turning one port on our computer into a charge port, as well as whatever else we plug into this hub. And these, as you can tell, are super great for desks. If you have an office workstation and you wanna come to your office and plug one plug into your laptop and everything connects, like your displays and your sound system and whatever else you have connected, this is a phenomenal way to do it. And these come in all different shapes and sizes. Here's an example of a much larger one. This is the CalDigit TS3 Plus, I believe is the name of it. But you can see the absolute massive amount of ports that it has on the back here. If I hold that up so you guys can see it, right? It's got Ethernet, optical audio, a bunch of USB-A, and then on the front side, we have a card reader and some audio connections and things like that. So obviously the cost goes up the more plugs and connections that you want, but this can be a great option for a lot of people who just wanna bring their normal laptop charger and one adapter or hub or dongle or whatever you wanna call it, and they wanna sandwich it in to their normal workflow. I do have a couple final notes I wanna say on this, and those really revolve around which dongle to buy. Now, the first thing obviously comes down to what ports it has. Get something that has the ports and the connections that you want. As an example, I held this one up a little bit earlier. This is a personal favorite of mine for photographers because it's got a USB-A port, it's got a card reader, it's got a USB-C port, it has charging pass-through, it checks a lot of boxes. But I also showed this one, right? If you network your computer, say you work in an office building that has networked connections, this gives you Ethernet, something that you don't usually have anymore on laptop machines. So there's hubs that have so many different ports. So get one that has ports that you enjoy. Also though, I've held up a couple hubs and you'll notice most of them are one of two brands. I really recommend sticking to one of two brands when you do this. The first one is CalDigit. I love CalDigit and I think all of their hubs are great. So anything from them I would recommend. They are a little bit more pricey. I think their cheapest hub starts at around about $100, okay? But CalDigit is phenomenal. The other brand that is really, really great is Anker, A-N-K-E-R. I have a couple Anker hubs here, a newer one and a slightly older one, but Anker makes great stuff as well. They're a really great company to purchase from. So I will leave links to my favorite hubs down in the description, but I also want to circle back and just remind you guys that the simplest solution is a cable that allows you to go directly from your hard drive to your computer, eliminating all hubs whatsoever and getting rid of all the dongles, anything, just a direct connection. So this is something that's $10. I highly recommend all of you get one of those. But then if you need more ports, here's a variety of options. Lastly, I just want to say, take this seriously. We have 53 summer intensive students learning with us right now. They actually graduate this week, and I've seen at least 3 or 4 of them run into issues by using really inexpensive USB hubs or dongles or docks and having hard drives drop out, having corrupted images, all kinds of things. So it's much easier to fix those problems before they happen just by making a small investment in even a custom cable or an affordable dock or USB hub for maybe $50. So I highly recommend you take this seriously. All right, everybody, that sums up this video. If you want to learn more about Rocky Mountain School of Photography, follow the link down in the description. We're an in-person photo school. We get hundreds of students every year on our in-person and online classes. So definitely check that out if you want to learn more about the school. If you all have a question, leave it in the comment section down below. I would appreciate you hitting that like button and hit subscribe to stay up to date with future videos. Fun fact, we also have a swag store. So if you guys want to represent RMSP with a cool water bottle or a camera strap or a hat or something like that, definitely follow that link as well down in the description. And I hope to see you all in a future video.